Hey everybody, welcome back to Rock Room. This week we're gonna do something different. We're going to cut some rocks. Oh yeah, never mind, I always cut rocks. Yeah. Oh, okay. We're gonna do something the same. We're gonna cut some rocks. Show you what I cut. Okay, now this rock looked pretty interesting on the outside, and oh yeah. Let's see if I would help to get that in the sun, maybe. Is that helping at all, maybe? Look at that crazy looking thing. Wow. There is so much happening in that rock. Beautiful. I'm going to say on the outside you could kind of definitely see that it might be something interesting, but yeah, never did I ever, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, here's the next chunk in. And yeah, wow, right? What a beautiful stone. Now you're getting a big you could say agate, but that kind of, I'm not really sure what that is going up there. Big chalcedony pocket forming in there, but still just beautiful looking patterns in this. Okay, next one in. Yeah, wow, right? Yeah, it's crazy. And this top is like a pseudomorph or something. Okay, so there's the next piece in. Or maybe this wasn't the next piece, maybe this was one of the outside pieces, but now you can definitely see that pseudomorph agate. Pretty much taking over the whole top. A little bit of pink there. Okay, here's the next chunk, and yeah, this is just taking complete charge of the whole stone, pushing that agate part down to the bottom. A little bit more of that, little bit of pink, a little red drizzle in there, and now you can see a lot more pink starting to form in there. Whoop. I like that. Okay. Well, I say it's like pretty much taking over the whole rock. And look at all that pink. Pinkish red. Just a little layer right in the middle. And this is the end chunk, so I think the pink's going to continue to the outside. Oh yeah. This is pretty thick. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Pretty thick chunk. I think I'd actually be able to get a couple pink cabs out of this. And you can't see, but it's got some really good depth to it too. Here's the holding it up to the light. So yeah, pretty translucent. So yeah. Alright, here's some of the first stuff I was cutting on. Tough to tell through all that cleachy, but this is yellow jacket Jasper. I had cut some of this in the past and polish it, and this is like mainly all hematite, but it is got a band of agate that runs through the center. Oh, let me get this wet for a second. Oh, jeepers. So yeah, this looks pretty cool polished. It's got a lot of hematite in it, so it just polishes like an absolute mirror. Very nice stuff. A little bit of fracture stuff in there, but you know, we'll take the good with the bad, right? As long as it's got that, it's probably a little thick, that hematite in there. It always looks nice polished. So this is an old fracture that filled in with quartz over the time. This video was sponsored by the letter 8, or B. I guess that would be a B. So yeah, nice stuff. Really nice stuff. You can see that hematite in the sun glare. And of course this is the other outside. It doesn't get real thick or big pieces. I mean, I'm sure it does come in big pieces. This is only the second piece I've got of this. So I was really happy to latch onto this. When I saw it, like I say, on the outside, I could see, you just look for this yellow stripe on top, the red on the bottom, and then that metallic look. And of course, like I say, it does have this chalcedony in the middle, maybe quartz vein, whatever it is. But you can see right away, yellow jacket Jasper looks beautiful polished. And there it is with the light going through there. Now this piece here, a little more here. Didn't really know what to think on the outside, and cut it open, and yeah, this is the one with all those little flecks in there, and Brian and Julie said they call that confetti. It's a little harder to see on these particularly pieces, but yeah, some real interesting looking stuff. Okay, here's another little tiny rock, but it looks pretty cool from the outside, and yeah, pretty nice. Looks kind of like a mossy agate, probably definitely mossy looking. Really good pattern. Small rock, but good patterning. That bottom looks really really intriguing. Well, the whole thing does, right? But yeah, really nice pattern on that bottom. Now here's a piece of AZ Jasper. It's kind of a jasp agate, kind of jaspery, but kind of agate-y. It's got some pretty cool color in there. Nice pattern on the bottom. And this rock was actually a pretty big rock, but you can see that main fracture going through the middle. So when I was cutting this up, it did fall in a bunch of pieces, but when you work stone, you're taking it into small pieces anyhow. So, but look at that craziness going on right in there. That little central band. I mean, it's got craziness going all through it. Even turning mossy up on top. So yeah, maybe this is more of a moss agate, but real beautiful area right there in the center. That would definitely make some nice cabs right there in that center area. Beautiful stuff. And like I say, here's the you know, the pieces that and this is the top section, so you can see how it had that big fracture. So, but these are all solid pieces here. There's no fractures in these, so these are definitely some workable pieces. Okay, now this one is just a regular agate. So I started cutting on it. Oop. And hey, look at that. This actually does have some stuff going on inside. I thought it was just going to be a clear white one, but it actually starts to get some pretty interesting stuff going on in there. Nice patterning. Look at that craziness, right? Yeah, now the white's just about all gone with the moss. And look at that big pocket that opened up in there. Beautiful. Look at that. Nice white. Beautiful reds. Crazy looking piece. And like I say, in the beginning you would have just thought it was just a regular plain old white chalcedony. Oh, come on, focus. See that nice vog in there. Nice piece. Okay, another little crazy one. It's got these little red lined areas. Like somebody, oh, come on, focus. Like somebody who's just doodling around there with a fine tip red Sharpie. But yeah, nice looking agate. Crazy looking pattern. All on a white, kind of a white background. Very interesting. You see there's that red again. Beautiful looking stuff. Ooh, look at the, yeah, we'll get back to that one. Let me put this down. Alright, I was looking like, boy, that almost looks like an Aztec that was moving around. It's like some kind of an Aztec head, demon head or gator. But yeah, real nice looking stuff. Beautiful. Alright, now here's a crazy looking piece of Jasper with a nice big band of purple agate on top. You can see where this fracture was healed with quartz. Well, they say big pink agate part up on top. And this looks like a waterfall coming down a mountainside. Lightning strikes in there. A little lightning strike. Definitely a lot happening in that. I don't know about how hard it is. Feels semi 50-50. It's not absorbing water. Maybe up down the bottom looks like some really crud, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, here's the next one I started cutting into. Again, a big fracture going down the middle, which is okay. Let me switch this around here. But still pretty neat. Got some brown and some crazy red, and then on the bottom, if you can see, it's actually very colorful. Seems to be a whole lot of different colors, even some little flecks of green. Okay, here's the next slice in. And now with this red and brown up on top, you're starting to get some agate forming in there. Let me see, but it's got this real colorful little dots in the bottom. You can still see that big fracture running through there. As we cut in, it's starting to get definitely more colorful on top. You know, it's starting to get like what's on the bottom, but on the focus. Come on. I hate that. Let me see if I can get out of this. Oh yeah, here we go. Why am I always trying to do it in the light where the light's too bright? But yeah, it's got some real interesting patterns in the bottom. And now, like I say, that brown is really starting to disappear. You get all kinds of weird shapes and stuff up here. Still got that fracture running down. And then of course the bottom has that. It's almost starting to lose some of its look, but it's still got the green, that layer of green in there. But the top, yeah, it's really kind of looking neat. And this is a pretty big stone. I got quite a bit of cut in there. And like I say, on the rest of it, you kind of see that it stays very colorful. Really gets green. I don't know if you can see that green. Maybe in the light. No, probably not. But yeah, it really gets green on this side. So yeah, this will be pretty interesting to keep cutting on this to see what else it has in store. Should be a really nice rock. Okay, here's a red one. It's pretty small, so I just cut this on the handsaw just to take a look inside. Yeah, nice looking mossy. Looks almost like some water lining going underneath. Like moss in a waterline agate or something. If that's such a thing, maybe. If not, it is now. And here's the other side. Yes, definitely a crazy pattern. That's my saw mark, but definitely see all those light lines, and you can see them disappearing behind the moss. That one's on top, but then there it disappears. So yeah, figure that out, right? There's another line that's fracture that had been filled in that comes behind that moss. So yes, very nice, strange stone. So yeah, I hope you liked what you saw. That was all I cut. Well, it wasn't all I cut, but that's all I'm going to show for this week. If you weren't totally bored out of your gourd, hit the like button. Thanks everybody for subscribing and commenting. I some interesting material in there. A couple that actually came from a few different places. Some of that was from AZRE. Some of that was from Mexico. So yeah, some really interesting stuff. I'll show you a couple of cabs I made with that right now too. Of course, these are all in my shorts, but these are cabs that just came from that stuff you just looked at. So that was that one. I wasn't sure if this was a Jasper and agate. And this is that one that had the little red lines going around the agate, or the chalcedony part. So yeah, so thanks a lot everybody for watching. See you next week. Thanks everybody for subscribing and liking, commenting again. So thanks a lot. See you soon.